In this video, how do you make an engine trolley? This lift is not going to work for getting the engine out of our Daihatsu Charade. You may have been following that video series. So we've come up with an alternate strategy. What we're going to do is put a trolley underneath the engine and lower the engine down and pull it out that way. But we haven't got a trolley, so we're going to try and make one. I've bought some castors from Screwfix. I've bought a saw from Juicens, and also a large piece of ply. This is 4 foot by 2 foot, I believe. A bit more than we wanted, but that was the smallest size they actually sold. The plan is simply, oh, he says, tipping it over, to screw these to that, and that should make an engine trolley. And, well, generally a trolley. These trolleys can be massively useful, because anything heavy, you can rock it up, slide the trolley in, put it on the trolley, and move it. Fridges, big boxes, bits of engine, whatever. So it should be a really useful bit of kit. I need to check if I've got some decent screws to hold these castors in place, and then I'm just going to fit them to it. It is actually a bit longer than I really wanted, but I think I'm going to just go ahead because the width is about right, and we're going to fit them as it is and see. If it ends up being too long, I have my saw. I can cut this down to make it a bit smaller, or even get some more castors and make 2 of them. Oh my gosh, the luxury. So yeah, this is about as difficult as finding some screws and a screwdriver. What they might not show you on other YouTube channels is it's very important to make sure you're using entirely the wrong fixings because you haven't actually planned and got the right screws. I'm going to try and use a speed screw here, and we'll see if this works, but I'm double stacking it with lots of washers because it's slightly too long and will protrude through the board and hurt me. So let's see if this actually works at all. It's also important not to use your Black & Decker workmate, but to lean the wood precariously on a car that just happens to be somewhere near. Okay, there's some slight clearance issues there. It also helps if you have 2 slightly different type of castors. My hand was forced because Juicens only had 3 of each type, so I couldn't have 4. So I've had to have 2 of each type. And I'm kind of hoping that's going to be good enough. Let's see if I've got power tools. Power tools will make this a lot easier. I need to make more of a mess of this, because otherwise I just feel it's going far too well. There we go. Yep, that's protruding slightly from the other side. That's perfect. I'll cut myself on that later. And it's simply a case of doing that again and again. Marvellous. So don't worry, all this professionalism you've seen going on, this is still Hubnut. Yeah, it goes much quicker if you use actual self-tappers with a crosshead. For best results, make sure they're slightly too small. I was wondering about making a trolley out of the pallet wood, but given what a mess I've made of this, yeah, perhaps you'll agree that it's a good job I didn't. There has been progress on the Daihatsu. It's still sitting there looking like it hasn't changed from last time. We have actually started the second phase, but quickly realised that getting the engine out was going to be a bit tricky with the equipment we had. So we dug out the engine crane, and actually I don't think the engine crane is going to be our friend. Let's put the drill up there where it's slightly more secure, and we'll have a proof of concept. Does this work? Yeah, is it strong? Yeah, that feels quite bendy. Hopefully it'll be alright. That is seriously bendy, but I think it works. Ooh, ooh. Oh, it is quite bendy. I may need to strengthen this, in which case I will use bits of pallet. I've gone for 18 mil there, I think, or it might be 12 mil. Maybe I should have gone thicker. Well, maybe it'll be alright, but I also need one extra important bit of kit. Bear with me. Yes, yes. A tyre. And now I'm going to see if I can give this a test even. I will test it with a spare engine. So, is there enough room between the legs? Let's just pump that up a bit. So there we go. So if I now let this down, does my engine stand work? will it actually support the weight of an engine? Sort of. It's a bit bendy in the middle. Maybe I need some more castors. I'll make it a 6-wheeler. But there you go. That kind of works. And I can move that back and forth now. Yeah. You see, the tyre actually does. I mean, it's still connected at the moment, but the tyre does a reasonable job of keeping it supported and upright. So that's going to be our strategy. I may well carry some improvement works out, but that is how you make yourself a simple engine trolley. I think ideally you would cut that in two. I don't need this extra length. It's not doing anything for me. So I might get busy with a saw off camera and shorten that to make it a bit more practical. But as proof of concept goes, that's good. And hopefully we can use that. We got space. I might have to move the axle stands. The axle stands might be a bit too far forward, but if we can support the car a bit further back, we've easily got the height, and we can use the crane to lower the engine down onto the tray. Now, people were saying why not take the whole front subframe out, but actually the front subframe is kind of behind the engine, it's not beneath the engine. So I think this is going to work for us, so hopefully that will be the key to success. So thank you to a number of people, including Chaz, who suggested this idea. I'm sorry I've done such a bad job of actually implementing it, but nonetheless, even a ham-fisted fool like myself can make something that makes life a lot easier. So I think I'm going to call that a win. And we will come back hopefully on Friday this week. Today is Wednesday. And we waited in for an engine stand today, which didn't turn up. Cheers, DPD. Dave apparently missed us, which is funny because we were there all day. But yeah, we will be cracking on with this. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm out filming tomorrow. I'll need to have a quick look at Giselle now as well, because she's doing this weird thing where she cuts out if you go over a bump. So there might be a video coming on that. But yeah, that's where we are. Hope you've enjoyed that. There will be more Charade progress soon, but otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a future video. Farewell.